Okay. Oh. Okay, there we go. So what's going on, family? Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. What's going on? All right, so let's get started. Give me a second. This was an impromptu session, but just wanted to bring something up. I know y'all probably looking like, yo, what's going on with Divine? What he wearing, man? Yeah, you see the subject matter, right? I had to do it throwback a little bit. But anyway, hold on 1 second. Let me adjust this. There we go. There we go. All right. All right, family. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna have to share this link. Let me go ahead and do that. What's going on? What's going on, y'all? So hold on, give me a second. Wait, what? Oh, I didn't know nothing about that, but I guess I can bring that up in a second. All right, let's do this. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna give you another second to join in. I'm just sharing this real quick. So y'all give me a second. All right, give me a second, family. I got y'all. Give me a second. Just setting up real quick. Okay. All right. So I think we should be good to go. So Shabbat Shalom, family. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I'm going to talk about a couple of things real quick, and then I'm going to open it up for discussion. All right. So I just need y'all to give me a second. I'm just trying to get things sorted out so we can get started. Let's do this. Wait. Is this the same video? I think it is. Hold on, let me see. All right, hold on, family. Give me a second. I got y'all. Okay. All right. So if you can hear me, hit one. Hit one if you can hear me. Shout out to Lena K. Thank you for joining in. Hope you enjoy it. All right. So let me get started. All right. So, all right. Yes, you can hear good. You can see good. All right. So we streaming at 720p at 60 frames per second. We're using Go Lightstream Studio. All right. Because y'all know how YouTube did Google Hangouts. So everybody's scrambling to use different things. You got StreamYard, you got OBS, you got Lightstream Studio, etc. All right. So what I would like y'all to do is hit the thumbs up button. Those using hit the thumbs up button. Be sure to share this video everywhere. Hit the subscribe button as well. If this is your first time here, or if you've been visiting us for a while, looking us over, hit that subscribe button. All right. Hit that subscribe button. All right. So we're going to talk about a couple things. All right. And then I'm going to open up the floor. I'm going to throw the link in the chat if anybody want to jump on and get it in, have a discussion, debate, build, whatever you want to do. I'm going to throw the link in the chat so anybody can join in. All right. So I'm going to cover a couple things. All right. All right. So y'all see the topic. Okay. Now it's interesting because, typically I don't have nothing like that in my my description for a video. You feel what I'm saying? Like the title. Sometimes I'll talk about certain things, sometimes I won't. But the reason why I want to bring this up is because a lot of this is dealing with culture. You feel what I'm saying? And that plays a huge role in regards to what we do here at KHM. You know what I'm saying? The things that we want to stress to our community, et cetera, right? So I noticed some trends that's going on, and I really wanted to point them out, wanted to bring it out, wanted to deal with it. So that way, we can address these things, all right? And make people aware of, what's going on that they may not be aware, bring awareness to, you know what I'm saying? And discuss our positioning on it, you know what I'm saying? So again, hit that thumbs up, Make sure you share this video and hit subscribe. All right. If this is your first time, hit subscribe. Okay. All right. So with that being said, I find it very peculiar, right? Well, you know what? Before I start with that, let me start with this. So I don't know if y'all are aware. Are y'all aware of this group? Matter of fact, I'm gonna show y'all. All right. Y'all hit one if you're aware about the Holy Water Edition Nike Air Max. I believe they're the 97s. Right. Let me know if y'all are familiar with those. All right. Let me know if you're familiar with those. All right. Now, back in the day, years ago, I used to work at Foot Action, right, on 34th Street and 7th Avenue, downtown Manhattan. All right. That's when Foot Action was there. When they first started the store, I was one of the first employees that was hired there. And we helped like put the whole thing together internally. And I was there for launch day. And then we would have like Nike launches, you know what I'm saying? Like Jordan launches or new Nike launches. I remember one time LeBron James came through. I met LeBron James. This was back when he was first drafted to the NBA, and he was coming out with his LeBron sneakers, and he signed this huge contract with Nike for sneakers, you know what I'm saying? So that was way back in the day, right? But even before I started working at Foot Action, I used to be very trendy in regards to the clothes that I wore, right? So I used to wear Rockaway, I used to wear Nietzsche, I used to wear Sean John, which I still wear here and there to today. You know, back then, you know, we had FUBU, we had Karl Kani, you know what I'm saying? I used to like Karl Kani stuff, you know, and they both sold out, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of just a whole bunch of name brands, Pele, Pepe. I didn't really get a lot of the high-end designer brands. I like more of the urban kind of clothing. You know, I used to dress like I would spend like hundreds of dollars on outfits and sneakers and all of that. You know what I'm saying? And I used to wear fitteds and everything like that. So that was back in the day. You know what I'm saying? I was a totally different person than I am right now. You know what I'm saying? But I say this to say that, you know, I was cultivated by the hip hop era where to me, some of the best music came out, you know, during the times I was alive, from the 80s, the 90s, and the early 2000s. You know what I'm saying? After that wave started taking off in regards to the South, you know, getting in, and you know, and then later on, then you have, you know, lean and codeine and all this other stuff that brothers like start sipping on and just mess everything up with mumble rap and everything like that. I was cultivated by hip hop culture, urban wear, and the aspirations that I had, you know, is nothing on the lines of what I'm doing right now. If you would have asked me back then if I would be doing this today, I would have been like, yo, you bugging out. You know what I'm saying? Like that, nah. You know what I mean? So, and I say that to say that, you know, when you don't have a culture, right, you'll be willing to accept whatever is handed to you, whatever's trendy, whatever's popping, you know what I'm saying? Like that will become your identity. And when you identify with that, you will be more distant from the indigenous calling on your life that has been screaming since you was birthed. You know what I'm saying? We have not acknowledged our creator, our patron deity. We have rejected the cultural mandate that has been given to us in order for us to be within the scope and boundaries of protection and provision. And because we've abandoned our culture, what some people will call your heritage, and our knowledge of who we are, and our positioning in the planet, then you start to try and fill that empty void with material things, right? It's interesting because over time you'll see that a lot of artists who break away from the industry, who unplug from the industry, they realize that they've been chasing the wrong thing. You understand what I'm saying? You know, Nike, you know, had a really big dealing on me because I used to rock Nikes all the time. I used to spend $200 on Nike sneakers, $250. It was very rare that I spent that much because I worked at Foot Action. I got a discount on all the new sneakers that came out. And I was doing a hustle when I was working at that job. And that's pretty much like how I lost my job. You know what I'm saying? You know, I broke company policy because I was hustling, right? It's crazy what I was doing back then, but nonetheless, anyway, so the point I'm trying to make is, so I'm seeing now, like, this trend is still there. People are investing in buying Jordan sneakers for what? You know what I'm saying? I don't remember the last time I bought a pair of Nike sneakers. You know what I'm saying? I don't remember the last pair I bought a pair of Jordans. You know what I'm saying? It's been so long, you know what I'm saying, since I've invested in that. Once you get older and you get more mature, and then you have more responsibilities and then you reflect back on life, it's like I spent thousands of dollars in clothing and sneakers that I don't have to account today. You know what I'm saying? Like when I moved to Atlanta, I got rid of everything. You know what I'm saying? I gave my sneakers away to, orphanages. You know what I'm saying? I gave my sneakers away to halfway houses and shelters. And then I gave some to family and friends. I had clothing, expensive clothing, and just donated it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know who got those clothes, but I'm sure whoever got it is grateful for it, because I mean, it costs a lot of money. You know what I'm saying, at that time. But I realized that was a very foolish investment. But again, I didn't really have much mentorship and guidance on what to invest in. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like, I had somebody there was like trying to school me or whatever. And then I just ignored them and just had to deal with the consequences. It wasn't like that. So today I see from the late 90s all the way to now. So we're talking about over 20 years, looking at the trends and, seeing what's hot and what's popping and, the things that the youth are into. I'm just like, damn, we are drifting further and further away from anything that is going to accomplish anything great in our lives, man. You understand what I'm saying? Like, there's no end state, there's no end game for our generation. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're chasing after things that, you know what I'm saying, do not fill that void that was placed there purposely so you can fill it with the right thing. You know what I'm saying? And that's just like you having a gas tank. Instead of filling it with oil, you fill it with water. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we've been doing. We're not filling ourselves with purpose. You understand what I'm saying? We're not filling ourselves with purpose. When you see that, the trend now is getting money, you know what I'm saying? Like chasing money, getting money, and wearing expensive things, driving expensive cars, and buying big houses and stuff like that. I mean, anybody doing that, hey, that's your prerogative, you're provocative. But my point that I'm trying to make is that what is it amounting to? How further is it getting us as a community, as a people? You feel what I'm saying? It's setting us back, all because the culture that we're engaging in is a matrix that was designed in order to separate us from the actuality of who we are and where we need to be, so we can be on the right trajectory of where we need to go. So in recent times, there was released a Nike product. I don't even know if y'all are aware of it, right? But I'm gonna read the article to you. It's called the Jesus shoes. Okay. And I'm gonna show this thing to y'all. All right. You can't really see it. It's in my background. You can't really see because I have other things overlaid on top of it. But it's called the Jesus shoes. Now, it's really interesting because I've realized that the secular realm is finding a way to co-opt Christianity, Christian icons, iconography, Christian thoughts and ideals, and make it trendy, make it popular to sell products. Okay. And what's interesting is that nobody is looking at this and saying, well, maybe this needs to not be supported or given attention to. Like, if you are a devout Christian, these are things that should concern you, right? Because now, guess what? Society is not going to take your religion seriously, okay? Because it's been co-opted by Black or urban culture. So I'm gonna show you these Jesus shoes. I want y'all to see what this looks like. Before I do that, I'm gonna read to y'all this article. All right, really, really interesting stuff here, man. Give me a second. Let me pull it up. All right, so if y'all can hear me, hit one. If y'all can see the screen, hit 1. If you can hear me, hit 1. If you can see the screen, hit 1. All right. Wait, I might redo this. Hold on. Let me redo this. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna do it differently. Let's do it like this. There we go. I think that's better. All right, let's get back to this. Let's go to. All right. So, if y'all can see the screen, hit 1. If you can see the screen, hit 1. If you can hear me, hit 1. I just want to make sure you can see the screen and hear me before we go in. All right. Shabbat shalom to the family that just joined in. Okay. All right. So shout out to Jerusalem Shallow in the building. Abantu's a Negro. Tyler Miles. Brother Benny Yasharala Wheat, 617. Let's get it. CYND. Yaram Yahu Yasharal. Nisi's Pieces. Yahuda Dawid. Yeshab Awam. Janelle. Mrs. Yao for Money. Adaya Yisrael. J. Lockhart 25. By Hearing and Hearing By. Vanessa Landis. Tyler Miles. I think I hollered you already. Ivan Herrera. In Search of Yah, Living Proof, Lena K, Kadar Scales, Foolish World 75, Joshua Armstrong, Dwayne Yosef, Nisi's Pieces. I think I got D Red, what's going on? Don Terry, G Deb, Black Av, Vaunt Parker, Daniya Shamgar, Brian Cather, G Deb, Reckless Animosity. I think I got everybody. All right. Renee Menzies. All right. Hold on 1 second, fam. Hold on 1 second. All right. My bad. All right. That's crazy. Shout out to Signs of the Times TV, the Watsons. Thank you for joining. Make sure you hit that like button. If you're new, hit that subscribe button. Share this video everywhere, all right? Let's get the conversation going, all right? All right, family. So we're gonna look to see this, this, I would say, religious misappropriation, right? That's designed to make a buck. Okay, so we're not saying that sneakers is inherently bad or evil or wicked. We're just talking about keeping a keen eye to see what's going on, so that way we can see how trends are co-opting values that are important to certain groups of people. You know what I'm saying? And how some are, pushed and, people are hyped and okay about it, but others are actually frowned upon. And we're going to get into that, all right? Shout out to Claim Your Inheritance. Hassad, what's going on? Thank you for joining in, all right? So if you're looking at the screen, this is the Jesus shoes, okay? Now, I know some of y'all probably going to go out and buy them after seeing this. I mean, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, this is from CBS News, all right? I actually first saw this on Unbox Theory, which is a YouTube channel that I follow. And this is a very, very interesting pair of sneakers, right? So let's go into it, all right? So it's called a pair of Jesus shoes on sale for $4,000. And for that price, the lucky owner can literally walk on water. These shoes were designed by Brooklyn-based creative arts company Mischief, or MSCHF, Mischief. This is an acronym for it. And they come with holy water in the shoes. holy waters in the shoes, fam. Let's keep going. Mischief bought a normal pair of Nike Air Max 97 sneakers at market value. The company's head of commerce, Daniel Greenberg, confirmed to CBS News. A plain pair of men's Air Max 97s goes for about $160, but Mischief completely revamped the shoe and added a golden Jesus on a crucifix and a shoe as a shoelace charm. Mischief also sourced holy water. You see this? He sourced holy water from the River Jordan, which was blessed by a priest in Brooklyn, and added it to the soles of the shoe. That's crazy. The new Jesus shoes went on sale for $1,425 Tuesday and sold for that price within a minute, Greenberg said. The buyer has now listed the sneaker on the resale website StockX for $4,000. All right. Greenberg said the company does not personally know the buyer of the Jesus shoe, but they are aware that person listed the sneaker on StockX. Mischief is a counterculture media product band playing in a gray area that isn't yet defined by traditional approaches, Greenberg said. The company's objective is to drop a new project every second and fourth Tuesday of the month. Past projects include Times New Roman, a new font that is the classic Times New Roman, only each letter is 5 to 10% bigger. The company also created an internet plugin that makes Wikipedia pages look like real sources. The Jesus shoe, however, is possibly Mischief's most viral creation, and it received both positive and negative feedback. Greenberg says the shoes were designed as a response to ridiculous brands collaborations such as Arizona Iced Tea and Adidas. We set out to take that to the next level, Greenberg said. We asked ourselves, what would a shoe collab with Jesus look like? Obviously, it would let you walk on water. Well, how can we do that? You pump holy water into the pocket of a pair of Air Max 97s, and with that, you get Jesus shoes, the holiest collab ever. See it? It's the holy water in it. All right? And the Jesus piece right here hanging off of it. And then it has a scripture, which is Matthew 14:25, which talks about Jesus walking on water. All right? And it says here, Jesus shoes were sold for $14.25 and are now being resold for $4,000. All right? Now, there's an actual unboxing of this, and I told y'all about the video, so let me go ahead and pull that up. Let's do this. Unbox theory, and we're gonna do Jesus shoes.
Get closer.
All right.
Still works. We get a lot of strange boxes, products. They show up here at the studio. It's Willie Doo that you can blame for most of the time. It can be very surprising.
Oh yeah.
At times. This is one of those moments. I know that we've got some sneakers in here. Now on this channel, I featured many different types of sneakers. In fact, usually some high-tech stuff. We had the self-lacing, rising.
Oh yeah.
At times. This is one of those.
I actually want to keep it muted because I don't want them to strike my video. So if you see it on the screen, watch. We're gonna take a look, right? So first, he shows you the actual sneakers, not these. All right, hold on. Let's go back. It says Mischief INRI. If you know anything about the Roman Catholic Church, you know what that stands for. But it's called Walk on Water, right? So let's keep reading. All right, it's called the Jesus shoes. All right, and look, it has a crucifix, it has wool in it, 60 cc's of holy water sourced from the River Jordan, and they're white and gray red. All right, look at the symbolism right here. Right, all right, let's keep going. Very intriguing. All right, so he opens the box, and as you can see, the symbol's right there, front and center. Then you have the scripture, and in the fourth watch, oops, hold on, let's go back. And in the fourth watch of the night, he came to them walking on the sea. Matthew 14:25. All right. So now, as you're looking at it, this is it right here. Look at this. Hold on. Look at this. There's your Jesus piece right here. Right? And just look at the soul. Look at the water in there. You see that? Look at that. And the scripture right here, Matthew 14:25. Very, very creative, very interesting piece of footwear. Like I said, this is from somebody who used to be a really, really heavy sneakerhead back in the day. I mean, back in the day, I would have copped this if they would have released that. I definitely would have copped these. You know what I'm saying? Just because it was trendy and it looks cool. But I think what people are missing is that there is a co-opting of the Christian faith and beliefs, you know what I'm saying? And they're making it marketable and trendy, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know if it's a mockery, because if you know how Mischief gets down, they're really like satirical projects that they do. But I mean, if you're looking at this, you're gonna be like, yo, what is going on? Holy water in the sneakers? It was blessed by a priest. Priest actually blessed the water when they received it from the Jordan before they pumped it into the sneakers. And it's a limited edition, so I think there's only like 16 made or something like that. But anyway, again, you're looking at the unboxing. Look, they even have like water image in the actual box itself. So he's like, okay, does it have any? Oh, look, the blood drop is on there too. He's like, does it have any additional functionality? And if you know anything about sneaker technology, water is not going to give you any additional functionality if you put it in air. If anything, it can actually impede your flow or your gait as far as walking or running in these sneakers, since these are classified as running sneakers. All right. Again, I had to learn about all of this technology and stuff when I used to work for Foot Action. But as you can see, he puts the sneakers on. He's walking in them, trying to figure out, okay, is it feel any different? And it feels no different than regular sneakers. Actually, just going to add a bit of weight also when running, because it's not fully air as well. So that's also will impede or add resistance and impede your stride as you run slightly. You know what I'm saying? If you have water in the actual sneakers themselves, right? So again, I mean, looking at this, I was like, wow, this is really interesting to see what is trending now, what is going on. And the question you have to ask is, well, does any of this have a real functional purpose? You know what I'm saying? That we are not aware of, or things that we should be aware of, and we're not. You understand what I'm saying? So I think there's some discussion that we can have on this. In 1 second, let me just transition back over. Give me 1 second. And we can talk a little further about this. All right, so if y'all can hear and see me, hit 1, and let's talk about this, right? Yeah, Brian, somebody bought it for $1,425, and now they're reselling it for $4K, which is interesting. So the point I'm trying to make is that iconography, style, and trending can be a useful tool for marketing, right? But one thing that people are not realizing is that now what they're doing is they're watering down Christianity, because now Christianity is just going to be a fad or a trend that people can use to market and sell goods, products, and services, right? Now that may be okay for those who are secular Christians who are trendy like that, you know what I'm saying? But for those who really take their faith seriously, this is what's going on. You feel what I'm saying? Like, is that holy water being blessed by a priest going to mean anything for you when you get these sneakers? Having a crucifix on the shoelace, is that going to make a difference for you when you wear these sneakers? If its purpose is solely for running, it's a purpose, but people also get it for fashion, to make a fashion piece, an icebreaker, whatever the case may be. It's watering down those who sincerely takes their Christian value seriously. And it's watering it down because now it's materializing it into something that has no value to their faith-based system or religion. Okay. And this is something to take our time and to analyze, to really see, you know, is this really a piece of indulgence? Those of you who have studied the Roman Catholic Church, You should know about penance. You should know about indulgences that will be sold to the people. Let's look it up real quick. I want to show you this. All right, let's go into this. Let me show you this real quick. Let me bring it up. All right, so I'm gonna read this for you, okay? So in Roman Catholic theology, matter of fact, I'm gonna show you this because y'all can just pull this up. I mean, I have 2 books on Roman Catholic doctrines. I'd have to look for it, but y'all can just do like a quick search on Wikipedia. Let's say you do a Wikipedia search, right? Let's do a quick Wikipedia search, okay? And I'm gonna read this for you. This is just gonna give you a brief summary on this, all right? All right. So if you look at the screen, you see here where it says Catholic teaching up top. Okay. So here it says when a person sins, he acquires certain liabilities, the liability of guilt and the liability of punishment. A mortal sin, one that is grave or serious in nature, is committed knowingly and freely, is equivalent to refusing friendship with God and communion with the only source of eternal life. The loss of eternal life with God and the eternal death of hell, that is the effect of this rejection, is called the eternal punishment of sin. The sacrament of penance removes the guilt and the liability of eternal punishment related to mortal sin. Though your sins are like scarlet, they shall be white as snow. Though they are red like crimson, they should become like wool. The forgiveness of sin and restoration of communion with God entail the remission of the eternal punishment of sin, but temporal punishment of sin remains. And they try to give you an example of that. In addition to this eternal punishment due to mortal sin, every sin, including venial sin, is a turning away from God through what the Catechism of the Catholic Church, which I have 2 versions of that, calls an unhealthy attachment to creatures, an attachment that must be purified either here on earth or after death in the state called purgatory. Let's keep going. All right. It says an indulgence is not the purchase of a pardon which secures the body's salvation or releases. An indulgence is not the purchase of a pardon which secures the body's salvation or releases the soul of another from purgatory. Sin is only pardoned when complete reparation in the form of sacramental confession is made and prescribed conditions are followed. An indulgence may be plenary, remits all temporal punishment required to cleanse the soul from attachment to anything but God, or partial, remits only part of the temporal punishment, i.e. cleansing due to sin. To gain a plenary indulgence upon performing the charitable work or praying the aspiration of prayer for which the indulgence is granted, one must fulfill the prescribed conditions of a complete and wholehearted detachment from sin of all sin of any kind, even venial sin, making a valid sacramental confession, receiving Holy Communion in the state of grace, praying for the intentions of the Pope. All right. So now it goes on to explain there are 4 general grants of indulgence. So the argument in regards to the Catholic Church is that from the Catholic Church position, they'll tell you that indulgences is not a purchase in order for you to lessen your punishment of sin and eternal damnation. But Protestants will say, yes, it is. The bottom line that I'm saying is that if you take a look here, you see this symbol right here, the Catholic Church symbol. This is exactly what you're seeing on the actual sneaker itself. Okay. And when you go into the Catechism of the Catholic Church, which is going to be your primary for this information, not Wikipedia. Wikipedia is giving you a summary. You'll get more in-depth information in regards to how indulgences operate in regards to the Roman Catholic Church for a temporal pardon of sins, that it can be purchased. And again, it depends on a perspective on how this is viewed historically and theologically. All right. So the point that I'm trying to make is that this sneaker, for people who may have some kind of inkling inside, or some kind of unction inside to say, hey, look, maybe if I get these sneakers that has been, that has the crucifix on it, if I get these sneakers that have holy water from the River Jordan that was, prayed over by a priest, if I use these sneakers, then I can exempt myself from doing all the things that's required by Christianity, and simply have these sneakers as an icon to represent the fact that I want to outwardly show that I still want to be someone in alignment with this theological framework called Christianity. And I want to have these elements so that way I can feel like any sins that I've committed, now they will be pardoned, or they will be lessened in regards to the punishment, because I am trending with this product. So when you look at Mischief, again, they're taking something that is appealing to one crowd, and they're, taking it and amalgamating it with other trends, because they're not a sneaker company, right? They just happen to do this as one of their projects. And then they're reselling it back to the community. All the while co-opting this Christian religion and watering it down, right? So now it's another product that somebody can purchase as an indulgence to feel less burdened down in regards to sin, based on how they're taught by their Christian denomination, or just Christianity in general. This is something that is really interesting, how trends are now misappropriating the beliefs and faiths of others for the simple fact of making a buck, making a sale. And this is something that I think is really interesting. We actually look into it and analyze it to kind of really say, wow, this is really interesting. Really interesting. When I saw it, I was like, man, I got to speak on this. I got to share this information to see what people would think about it by reading it and seeing what it would do. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Love of Yah Ministries in the building. Let me see if I got everybody in here. Gold Surfer, what's going on? I think I got everybody. Lena said, the water might be helpful if you happen to be in a desert with no access to H2O. I don't know who's going to be wearing these sneakers in a desert, but yeah, I hear you. But also, if you know somebody that's possessed, you could probably use the sneakers to kind of like use it as a, here we go, use it as a talisman to protect you for people who are possessed. You know what I'm saying? Or if they possess, just throw the sneaker at them, or when they fall asleep, just tie the sneakers on them. You know what I'm saying? And lock them down. You feel me? But anyway, yeah, well, Lena, the reason why the sound is doing that is because I'm transitioning from scene to scene. It's not as seamless as I would like, because I could turn that feature on, but if I do it, it'll probably switch too quickly before I get to adjust the next scene. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so I wonder if a person who is possessed and they buy these sneakers and not even aware that they possess, will the voices in their head kind of like deter them away from buying the sneakers and putting them on? How does that work? You understand what I'm saying? But anyway, remember, this is not a product from Nike, right? Nike did not put this product together. A company called Mischief, they put the product together, right? So this has nothing to do with Nike, right? They purchased the sneakers for $160 and they modified it and they're reselling it, right? So this is not a Nike product. You're not going to find this on Nike's website, okay? So this is why I'm going into in regards to the appropriation, religious misappropriation, all right? So again, looking at how things are trending, religion is being co-opted in order to materialize products, in order to watering down the values of that faith and make it trendy in order to make a buck. But then there's also some underlying themes that's going along with that as well, if you're paying attention to the iconography, okay? So technically, this is not something that a Protestant Christian should even wear, because it has all the Catholic iconography on it. You understand what I'm saying? So it's really, really interesting how this is working. Now, I'm gonna transition from that. I just want to leave that there, bring it to y'all awareness so you can look at it, see what's going on, man. And also what this should tell us is that we need to start making our own products, because people are always going to wear sneakers, right? Because sneakers are functional. right? I wear sneakers. Sneakers are functional, right? I don't buy the expensive sneakers that I used to before. And if people buy it, I'm not saying something wrong with having sneakers. I'm just saying when people overindulge in certain things, right? Overindulge in certain things, and you're investing in something that has no ROI, has little to no ROI. You know what I'm saying? Now, Jordans may, if you keep them in good condition. Let me rephrase that. They have good ROI. You know what I'm saying? Because I was able to sell some of my sneakers on eBay and make a good penny, even more so than what I pay retail price for them. You know what I'm saying? Because I wait for the supply to get low and then demand to get high, and then I'll sell it at an inflated price. But that's just me, you know, liquidating my my stock or my inventory. You know what I'm saying? When I move. But needless to say, I'm trying to simply explain that this should not be something that should be supported. Like people who say that they're Israelites or people who practice, you know, Kemetic culture, African spirituality. If you saw the same thing being done by a secular group that does not care about your culture and that's going to misappropriate your culture in order to make a buck and also make your culture trendy, now what that's doing is open up the door for others to exploit your culture. And then your culture will lose value over time. Right. So this is something that really should Anonymous says he was crazy. This is something that really should pique the interest of those who are of the Christian faith to kind of investigate and say, what's really going on here? Should we support this thing? You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I'm gonna transition to the next topic before I open up the door to a discussion. So the next topic is Kanye West and the Jesus is King album. Now, I've been a fan of Kanye West since he came on the scene. Okay, since he was a local producer in Chicago, right? Before he signed with you know, Rockefeller, etc. Right? And I've always been a fan of Kanye West. I still like Kanye West to this day. You know what I'm saying? Now, I may not be as into, you know, what he's doing per se, but I still keep up with Kanye, and his music is still classic to me, right? I think he's a well-rounded artist. He's a little eccentric, but that's okay. You know, brilliant minds, you know, typically force a person to be eccentric because the way that they operate is very unorthodox, and normal orthodox individuals, is difficult for them to truly understand or wrap their mind around the complexity of brilliant artists, right? Or people who are brilliant thinkers, you know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, the Jesus the King album. So let's get into this, right? So Kanye West, you know, he back in the day, when his mother was still alive now, his mother was very religious, right? She believed in Jesus and was going to church regularly, etc. So Kanye, as he was growing up, some of his upbringing was Christianity, right? So he would speak about certain things, give thanks to God, and, you know, do things like that over time. He made Jesus Walks and music like that. And even though Jesus Walks is also a misappropriation of the religious Christian dogma, but nonetheless, you know, he would do things like that, right? And make trendy things. So that way it's a way of him incorporating some of his Christian faith into his music, infusing his music, making it trendy. So that way he can sell music, right? Then his mother died. Some people say, oh, you know, she was blood sacrificed and all that. I try not to get into the conspiracy theories if I don't have enough primary evidence to validate it. But nonetheless, his mother died. He took a different turn, and now his music took a different turn, right? Nonetheless, this dude is brilliant, right? His music is brilliant, man. I love Kanye West's music, right? But the reason why I'm bringing this up is not that I like Kanye West's music. Again, I don't listen to it as much as I used to, but I like him as an artist. It's a simple fact that now Kanye West is venturing wholeheartedly into gospel. Now, again, I have a video that I would love to play for y'all, but if I put it up, they're going to strike my video. So I don't want that to happen. But I'm just going to show y'all some of it without the audio so y'all can take a look at it, right? You can go back and watch the video for yourself. Kanye did the Jesus is King. Now, I've been listening to, you know, all of these shows that he's been doing in regards to his Jesus is King or Yandi project or whatnot. And man, I'm going to tell you, that is some explosive music. Now, I'm not a Christian, but I like the music. Yo, it's really good music. It's like, that's how you know this dude is a really talented artist, when he can venture into different genres and make hits. This guy's brilliant. He's a genius at what he does. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because now Kanye has recently come out and said that he is a Christian convert. And he has admitted to being a Christian convert. Now, what you'll see is that you'll see a lot of Christians come out and clap and applaud Kanye and say, oh, man, now he's one of us. He's a Christian, etc. And now they'll embrace him, regardless of all the flaws and things he's done in the past, etc. They'll embrace him and protect him because he's one of theirs, right? Which I find that's very, very intriguing. And again, I'm going to show y'all what video I'm talking about, an interview you can go check out. But I just recently seen in my timeline, not timeline because it's YouTube, my YouTube feed, a video where he's saying that Jesus King is canceled. Now, Jesus King was supposed to come out yesterday, but it's been delayed several times since it was announced, right? Months ago. You understand what I'm saying? When he was doing his Sunday service, this is all the way in the beginning of this year. Man, I looked at almost every one of those videos, man. Every one of those Sunday service videos, and I was just blown away, man. But nonetheless, I heard some of the leaks of this album, and man, it's fire. It's fire. But that's not the point. You know what I'm saying? That's not the point. Shalom to Jarvis Jenkins in the building. The point I'm trying to make is now that he has come out and said that he's a Christian convert, he said he's no longer making music for entertainment. He said he's making music in order to spread the gospel. That is the reason why he's making music, which I find to be very, very interesting. Very interesting. Kanye, when you watch his interviews, is really strange because, again, he's eccentric. So his behavior is weird. His mannerisms is weird. The way he talks, he jumps from subject to subject. And sometimes he seems a bit comfortably awkward in his interviews. You know what I'm saying? And again, this is a brilliant mind trying to express itself in normal terms, right? But nonetheless, he said that Kim Kardashian is on board as well in regards to his project, his music, and his way of life, which I thought was really intriguing. So most people would applaud that and say, yeah, he's a Christian, he's one of us, everything is cool, you good, Kanye. But what I found that is really interesting is that when Kendrick Lamar came out and said that he was a Hebrew Israelite, everybody was up in arms about it. The entire Christian community was like, oh man, this guy, how could he convert over to that? But if he converted to Christianity, he'd be fine. Why the hypocrisy? What is the big deal with Kendrick Lamar? Kendrick Lamar, if you don't know, is a revolutionary artist. Revolutionary artist. Look up his track record. Now, his music has vulgarity in it. I'm not going to lie. It does, his last album, but it was a classic. It was a masterpiece. And I'm not saying because I'm advocating the vulgarity on the album. I'm saying if you're looking at it objectively, it is a masterpiece. So much so that he got an award that very few artists are able to achieve in their lifetime. And when he came out, he said that he was a Hebrew Israelite. And when you listen to his last album, he has an intro from a brother, a cousin of his that he's related to, who's in IUIC, who actually was explaining to him or breaking down with him the certain components of that particular disposition. So the point I'm trying to make is that Kanye West is now being fully embraced by a religious community called Christianity, simply because he's saying he's a Christian convert. He wants to spread the gospel. But the moment an artist that comes out like Kendrick Lamar, if you watch him, he doesn't get into any controversy. He doesn't get in trouble with the law. As far as I know, if there's something that y'all know that I don't know, let me know. But he's a pretty upstanding dude. You know what I'm saying? Who has his particular way of life and, perspective, in regards to his ideology. And he was nothing but ridiculed for making that decision, as if Christianity should be the only path that people should follow in regards to faith or religion or spirituality. And that's where things fall short. And that is the issue that I have in regards to Kanye converting. Not because he chose to take a particular path to be a Christian. Hey, that's your prerogative, bro. I would love to speak to him, put him on a more indigenous cultural path, but that's neither here nor there. If I meet him, I record it. Y'all can see my discussion with him. I'm not going to treat him like he's a celebrity. I'm going to treat him like he's a person, and I'm going to have a real talk with him, like I've done with celebrities that I've met in the past. You know what I'm saying? I'm not starstruck, because now when you have a purpose, when you meet these artists, of course, you're going to give them respect for their craft, But at the same time, you got to deal with them as another human being, as another brother or sister. And you really got to break down information to them that they may not be aware of. You understand what I'm saying? So that way they could do something more constructive in the community. So I'm not really banging on him for his personal decision. What I'm saying is, why do people believe that it's only when you convert to Christianity that you're doing the right thing? But the moment that you take a path, an alternate path, to choose something else, it's inherently wrong or evil or pagan or wicked. Why is that? Why is that? Everything should be about character transformation and what you do in the community as a result of your new awakening. What are you doing? How effective are you in your community? Is your character improving than it was previously? What are you contributing as a legacy to leave behind, so that way the footstep that you leave is leading the youth to a certain path so they can then take off for themselves? So that's why those of us in our community, whenever we decide to awaken to what our reality is, that we believe our reality is, that we want to follow, we want to pursue very hard in the process of transforming ourselves into a acceptable sacrifice unto our creator or patron deity and the path that we walk. Our job is to exemplify the characteristics that is embedded, or that is the creme de la creme of the attributes that the deity has, so we can reflect the shame or the name or the character of that deity. It's only when we take that path, when we are awakened, that the world can see things in a different light. But if we continue to take a path that's bitter, that's angry, that wants to project problems onto other entities and things instead for ourselves, and then that's where we're going to hit a low point where we cannot get any further than that. So Kanye West converting to Christianity is a great thing. And having him convert to Christianity is an asset to gospel music, because he is doing something completely different with it, that when I heard it, I was like, yo, there's atheists who comments on all his videos. I said, listen, I'm not a Christian, but when that album comes out, every time I listen to it, I'm okay with feeling like a Christian that day. You know what I'm saying? The music is that good. But the point that I'm trying to make cannot be overshadowed by the greatness of the actual album itself, but it's actually understanding societal, the societal ramifications, that the embrace is much stronger with Kanye than it was with Kendrick Lamar, than it was with Amari Stoudemire, than it was with Brandon T. Jackson and other individuals as well, who chose a different path of spirituality. So that's the issue. The issue is that dogma is weighing down our community. And what it's doing is it is blinding us from going back to the cultural precepts. And when I say cultural precepts, it is an inherent mandate that has been impressed upon us. You know what I'm saying? That we are supposed to align ourselves with, to follow, in order for us to achieve on this journey what we need to achieve before we get to that final destination. So I just want people to understand this, what I'm saying to you. Just understand that what's going on out there is a huge bag of hypocrisy that needs to be spoken about. There needs to be dialogued. Yelling, screaming, being angry and bitter and all that, that's not going to solve any problems. You must be diplomatic, tactful, level-headed, and have a clear vision of what you're trying to accomplish and what your end state is, so that your steps can be ordered by Yah and you can accomplish that. So this, Nike Air Max 97 Holy Water Edition and Kanye West Jesus King album is something that we need to talk about. Okay. And in order for us to personally have any footing, we need to take ownership of our cultural identity, and we need to put products out there that represent truly where we stand on. And whatever your disposition is, whether it's Kemetic position, African spirituality, Islam, whatever the case may be, if it represents the best fundamentals of who you are as a person, then you cannot allow society to co-opt that, water down those values, make it trendy, so that way it loses its punch and its power. You have to confront it head on. So all my Christian friends, associates, viewers, or whatever, you need to address this. You need to address these things. And you need to be honest and fair in addressing these things. All right. So I want to bring it up for a piece of conversation, an icebreaker, for something that we can definitely speak and drive home with our own personal convictions. But I'm about to open up the floor in 1 second. All right. So I'm gonna put it back onto the screen, and I'll be right back. I'm taking a quick break. I'll be right back, family. All right. Okay. All right. Let me throw this away. Okay. So that's all I want to say for that. Real quick, family. And again, y'all can look at these trends and do what y'all want to do with it. But like I said, I pretty much. All right. Hold on. I pretty much put out just some insight for y'all to research further. All right. So thank y'all for joining the Freestyle Friday session. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the link in the chat. To anybody that wants to join in, you definitely can. Let me drop it in the chat. All right. So if y'all want to jump on, you can definitely jump on. And click on that and join in the chat if you want. All right, so let's chat, let's rap for a little bit. So I'm gonna tell you what was interesting. So interestingly enough, I was added to an Instagram group because I didn't even know that you could do groups on Instagram, or maybe I did and really didn't pay attention to it. But was added to this Instagram group by a young brother who was following me on Instagram, and he added me to the Instagram group. And in this group is a bunch of young brothers in this group, you know what I'm saying? Young Israelite brothers in the group. And one of the brothers was an antagonist who had a lot of very extreme One West ideology, but chose not to identify with a camp. And if you were part of a camp, then you're part of a camp. My issue that I had with him was that he said something that was really interesting when we was going over. And again, I wish I could have recorded those sessions on Instagram, because we was having a really deep session, man. They was giving a lot of feedback. Me and the brother was going back and forth. I shared a lot of good information. I wish I would have recorded it for y'all's sake. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, one thing that he said was interesting when me and him was going back and forth. He said to me that, oh, brother, you see, context is not always important, and you focusing too much on context, and you're not, looking at the spiritual side of things. I'm like, what? I thought that was extremely funny. And the reason why he was saying that is because when you read the context of everything he was cherry picking from, it destroyed his argument. So what it does is that it opens up the door for double speak when you decide that you want to throw away context so that you can subjectively spiritualize a particular verse or grouping of verses in order for you to actualize your position. And this takes a lot of effort because you have to keep adding upon adding. And they think that when you read Isaiah chapter 28, where it talks about line upon line, precept upon precept, and I explained to the brother, this is because the priests and the prophets were not doing their job. So Yah had to take a different approach in speaking to Israel. And that approach that he took to speak to Israel with line upon line, precept upon precept, it led to them being snared and entrapped. So when you hear somebody saying precept upon precept, line upon line, we understand what they mean colloquially, but going back and look at the context, that was not something positive at all. And I had to break it down to this brother because he was just going from place to place to place to place. I slowed him down. We dealt with the scriptures within its context. We dealt with the language. We dealt with archaeology. We dealt with history. And I was able to demonstrate to him what an interdisciplinary study looks like before you can positively identify what you want to convey when you're subscribing to something. And I realized he was very young, so he didn't really have the discipline. But towards the end of the discussion, he started to get it, but he had to drop off. But there were several other brothers that was on there as well, and sisters, and we had a great build. You know I'm saying there's a lot of stuff that they learn. All I said was I'm here to provide with you with tools, give you some different insights, and whatever you'll do with that is on you. You know what I'm saying? And I always take time to mentor, those who are young that's in this community, whether it's dealing with the Israelite paradigm or outside the Israelite paradigm, because that is an obligation that I have for my Creator to deal with the youth. And so many of them was just like, wow, I wasn't even aware that this information was out there, that these resources was there, that these tools were there. Give them so much free stuff so they can do better studies. I mean, it was just an awakening experience for them. And I'm happy that I was able to do that for them, and I look forward to keep building with them in that group. But when the brother said that context is not everything, and brother, you can't be so focused on context. What? You can't be so focused on history. I'm like, what? I realized, like, okay, that's the problem, because whoever he learned what he learned from sold him the short end of the stick. And I want to make sure that our brothers and sisters can take that short end of the stick and use it as an actual tool in order to feed themselves, instead of eating regurgitated matter from those who seriously don't care about their personal walk. And we always do a wellness check. Always do a wellness check when I build with the youth to say, hey, what's going on in your life right now? Are there any, successes you want to speak about, any failures that you're encountering, any hindrances or challenges, anything emotionally that you're dealing with right now, any help that you need or assistance? I always do a wellness check when I deal with the youth before I transition into teaching, unless there's a question that is affecting their wellness, right? And that's the thing that we need to do, right? We need to have a wellness check with our youth. Stop fighting, debating, arguing with them because you're older and you like, man, this brother, he's wrong, whatever. Do a wellness check. Because what happens is when they see that you personally and genuinely care about their well-being, their guard will be down much less, and they'll be more receptive to the things that you say. Even if they disagree, you're planting a seed. All right? That's important. That's important. So those of you who are much older in this truth, been in it for a long time, or consciousness or whatever, always start off with a wellness check. From the wellness check, you talk about the common denominators, and then from there, you can build on everything else. And when you do that, the youth will be more appreciative of your presence, of what you're providing, and your intention on protecting their fragility in this hostile society. Trust me, real recognize real, and they will vibe with that. All right. So, So again, family, hit that subscribe button if you're new. Hit the thumbs up button as well if you enjoy what you're seeing. There's a good amount of people in here. Y'all need to be hitting that thumbs up button. Share this video everywhere. And anybody that's interested in sending donations, you see it right there on the screen. Here's how you can support this ministry. Anybody want to reach me in other forms of social media, because I put different things out on different brands of social media. You see it right there on the screen as well. All right. This is our Freestyle Friday session. Going into Saturday morning or the Shabbat. So with that being said, family, anybody else have any questions, or anybody else want to join in on the discussion? You want to get in on the live stream, let me know. Or if you know somebody that probably does want to, you can share the link with them. I will drop it again in the chat. All right. So let me know, because if there's nothing that y'all want to ask, if there's nobody that y'all want to invite that maybe want to jump on the line, then I'm probably just going to end this session. All right. Lena K, I agree. I agree. All right. So, family, let's get give me a second. I'll be right with y'all. All right. So, shalom, peace to Mr. Esoteric in the building. Shout out to Dimitri Elder in the building. Yeah, by hearing by. Yes, I saw that question. So, I saw that question, but I can't go back to it. So I'll probably address that another time, I guess. Sure, Anonymous. I was supposed to have a discussion with another brother. I think he was on this platform before in regards to the Exodus as well. Having a discussion in regards to the Exodus. It's interesting to see what the perspective is out there. I've been having this discussion with the community for about 5 years now in regards to the dating of the Exodus and familiarizing myself with all the positions that's out there. Even had an interview with David Roll and had discussions with him because he was the one that created this new timeline for the Exodus, right? This Middle Kingdom timeline. So, I mean, if y'all have questions, y'all can just drop them in here. I'll try to end this session in about 30 minutes. All right. But if you have questions, you can definitely drop them in here. Again, if you're new to this channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button. If you're enjoying the content, share this video and make sure that y'all go back and y'all look at all the previous videos that we have been dealing with. So, Anonymous, what is the subject matter in regards to your Exodus debate about? Let me know what that's about. Again, family, I have the link. I dropped the link in there. Jamali Lewis, I spoke on that already. Previously, I spoke on that, right? I think it was about 3 weeks ago I spoke on that. So go check my live stream out about 3 weeks ago, and you'll see that I discussed that matter, subject matter right there, right? In regards to anything recent, any recent updates on that, I don't know anything about it. I haven't been informed. I haven't been told, so I'm not going to speak on anything that I don't have enough information on. But the information that I did have at the time, I did speak on that about 3 weeks ago. All right. All right, Lena K, thank you for joining in. We appreciate your time. Shabbat shalom to you as well. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. All right. Hit that thumbs up button on your way out. And we look forward to seeing you again. All right. Peace to Same Day in the building. Shout out to and shalom to DJ who just joined us. All right. Reckless Animosity. What question was that? Post it in here. and I'll see if I can answer it for you briefly. Again, family, I keep putting the link, so any of y'all can click on the link and y'all can join in on this live with me if y'all want. All right. Let me click this link here. Let me drop this here. All right, you can just click that link, follow instructions, and you can join in. All right. So Sankofa, John, any ideas on the cultural root origin of the word Christ? All right, so that word Christ, looking at the etymology, it goes back to a Koine Greek word, right? Christos, right? And that word precedes the Bible, right? So the New Testament is not the earliest work of Koine Greek. Koine Greek goes back further than the New Testament and is used in other works as well. But that simply means one that is smeared with oil, right? And it's representing, a representation of something, someone or something that's anointed. And when you talk about like the Serapis worshipers who are also called Christians, I mean, that should not, shock anybody, because simply the word Christian is just one who is of the anointed calling, right? One that has been smeared with oil, that's been anointed. And this has been used in other Koine Greek works as well. All right. Thank you so much, G-Deb. I appreciate that. I'm going to try to record the next session, or even invite the brother on here, and me and him can build, you know what I'm saying? Because I would also like to set an example on how we should handle our youth, right? So that way we don't mislead them. That way there's not a wall up between them and us, etc. Okay. Kendrick, that's interesting that you bring that up, because in that same group call, I had a brother that was in there that had a similar persuasion in regards to Islam and Hebrew Israelite, and we went into the Quran, because I think one of the young brothers on there was saying that he was having a discussion with some brothers who's in Islam, and they were telling him that the angel Gabriel had breathed onto Mary and impregnated her that way, right? And they rejected the virgin birth, which is crazy, because I have yet to meet an Orthodox Muslim that rejects the virgin birth. I have not encountered that, which is very odd. So I had to take them into the Quran, and we went into Surah 19, ayat 17 to 21, and we looked into the virgin birth, and we did so grammatically in Arabic, and also contextually as well. And I showed him that if any Muslim is telling you that there's any variation other than this in regards to the virgin birth, then obviously their main source is not the Quran itself. All right. So that's neither here nor there. But there are some similarities between Islam and, I guess, being a Hebrew Israelite. There are some similarities. There's actually a book that I use when I debated Ali Muhammad. And what it did was it pretty much showed you the similarities between Jewish traditions and beliefs and Islamic beliefs and traditions, right? Jay Lockhart, yes, just beginner Hebrew. Later on this fall or winter time, somewhere in between those two. There's a lot of projects that I have on my plate, so I didn't get to start on my deadline that I would have liked to, but yes, I'm still doing that. All right, I'm still doing that. Yeah, Kendrick Black, you said he doesn't believe in the virgin birth. Well, you know what? Give him the link and invite him on. You know what I'm saying? Give him the link and invite him on, and we could wrap. If a day is determined by the sun's revolution around the earth and a year is determined by the star's revolution around the earth, why wouldn't a month be determined by the moon's revolution around the earth? So if a day is determined by the sun's revolution and the year is by the star's revolution, why wouldn't a month be determined by the moon's revolution around the earth? Well, in certain cultures it is, certain religions it is. In Islam it is, right? And Judaism it is. And other cultures it was, ancient cultures as well. You know, ancient Babylonians, they had a lunar calendar, okay, where the months were determined by the moon. When we go and we look at the Gezer calendar uses the word for moon to represent a month. All right, so I don't see why that's an issue in regards to culturally speaking. Now, we're going to talk about The civil calendar that we follow today, is a little bit different, right? And its evolution is a little bit different as well. When you go back to the Julian calendar, okay, to see what inspired what we have today that was then reformed by Pope Gregory, okay? Rodney, great question. I have a video that I'm working on that should be up shortly, that's going into the kola nut tradition. When I sat with Prince Alwell Nwandu, who's a real prince from his tribe in Igbo land, and me and him had a discussion, and he started an organization. Well, he already started the organization, but he brought me on as a board partner. And the purpose of the organization is to repair the relationships between Africans in the diaspora, or so-called African Americans, and Africans that are still domestically on the continent of Africa, to bridge relationships between the two groups, to get sponsorships with families in West Africa that will sponsor African Americans and their families to bring them over to West Africa and learn about the tradition, the culture, to create diplomatic ties between leaders in communities in West Africa and those here in the Americas, and to be able to do something that is very worthwhile in progression in regards to helping us as a people, so that way we can come together and work on dealing with the actual oppressor that is suppressing our liberty culturally, right? And I want to give a shout out to my brother Chris in the building. He helped to sponsor my trip to Houston to make that possible. That's my brother right there. Holds me down all the time. He's also known as the Most High Child, Sayarala, my admin. But shout out to my brother Chris for putting me on with the brother Hugo, which is a friend of his, who both pretty much vouch for me to speak to Prince Alwell Nwandu in regards to this organization that he's putting together. All right. And I'm on the live stream, right? Right. Okay. So you said, what's wrong? I want to blow my nose. You want to blow your nose? Mm-hmm. Say hi. Hi. Wave. Say hi. Hi. So your nose, what's wrong with your nose? Let me see. I don't feel anything coming out. Oh. But if you want to blow it, let me get it some tissue, and I'm gonna help you out with that. Okay. Okay. All right. I love you. I love you. Okay. So, so stay here for a second, all right? Because I don't want you bothering your sister or making any noise, all right? Right. All right. So, so being that I was able to sit down and talk with the brother and see what his vision is, in regards to what he wants to accomplish. It was something definitely in alignment with what I want to do and what I've been doing for a long time. It was just difficult to get a lot of people on the same page to get it done. But now this looks to be something that is going to grow and branch out to something big. So I'm going to reveal all the details to y'all soon. Shout out to Pastor Johnson in the building. What's going on, Pastor Johnson? So I'm going to give you all the details soon. Also, I'm supposed to be speaking back in High Point. I think it's High Point, North Carolina, in December, January. So I'll be back out in North Carolina then. I might be in Orlando in December. All right. So stay tuned for that. All right. That's your hat? Yeah, that's my hat. Oh. That's my white kufi. Your white kufi. White kufi. White kufi. Say kufi. Kufi. Look at them, say Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. I gotta get your hair taken care of because your hair looks like a mess, Mama. Oh. Mm-hmm. We'll take care of it. All right. Oh. All right. So shout out to Gary, Danny in the building. What's going on? Thank y'all. They're saying shalom to you. Oh. They said that you're a beautiful princess. Oh. Tell them that I'm a Malaka. Or Malka. Malaka has to do with work. Say, I'm a Malka. I'm a
Mecca.
Yeah, let them know. Malcha.
Mecca.
Emerging.
Emerging.
Say emerging.
Emerging.
Malcha.
Mecca.
Yes, that means you're an emerging queen, right? But in the Hebraic indigenous sense. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So just give me 1 second. Let me help her out, and I'll be right back with y'all. All right. Just give me 1 second. All right. Okay. Jamali Lewis says, do you subscribe to the book of Adam and Eve? No, I do not. I don't subscribe to the book of Adam and Eve. I've read it. I'm familiar with it. But no, I don't subscribe to it. All right. Jarvis, I'm already strapped, bro. Facts. Appreciate that. I'm not playing, trust me. I love both of my daughters. All right. Yeah, she knows a little bit of Hebrew. I've been teaching her. She knows how to say several phrases in Hebrew. And mind, she's only 2 years old. She's only 2 years old. Okay. Did I miss any other questions? Kendrick, yeah. Chat's right there. I mean, the link is right there. Copy that link, send it to him, and let's bring him on. Right? We got 32 minutes. All right, so try to get him in here expeditiously. Let me see. Did I miss anybody? So there's no more questions. Brian, yes, I am. I plan to be at HCA tomorrow. I'll be there. Are you going to be there, Brian? Let me know. Let me know if you're going to be there. See, I'm eating the Good Bean sea salt crunchy chickpeas, right? Protein alternative. It's a great snack. I share this with my daughters. They eat this. They love this. Then this right here, just grab this. It's called Fit Active. It's a fruit bar. They eat this almost every day. Not this one. They got, I mean, this one too, but they got different flavors that they eat all the time. Chris, I don't know, man. He went into hiding, man. Same day, go ahead, encourage him. Let him do it. Let him do it. And when you get the details, email me, kingdomharmony@gmail.com, and I'll look it over for you. Rodney, yes, I'm supposed to be coming back to Houston. When? I'm not sure when. I'm not sure when. But if anybody is interested and wanted to book me for a speaking engagement, which, you know, the reason why I travel is because I'm being, you know, summoned for a lecture or something like that, email me at kingdomharmony@gmail.com. Chris, he can put the email address in the chat for y'all. Did the Exodus happen according to the biblical narrative? That's interesting. And Thun Thea, just email me. Jamali, in regards to what, I mean, man, you going in with all these questions. In regards to water baptism, do I subscribe to water baptism? I mean, yeah, water baptism is a mitzvah. You know what I'm saying? It's a purification washing. And people will say, well, how can you liken baptism, which is a holy sacrament, to purification washing? It's interesting. Brandon, I wouldn't say I'm fluent per se, but I know enough biblical Hebrew that I can actually teach it at an intermediate level. And I can actually break down, analyze, parse out, and render back in interpretation, a translation first, and then an interpretation of the various passages, right? So I study biblical Hebrew a lot. I read it when I can and so forth, but fluent, I wouldn't say that I'm 100% fluent yet, but that's the goal. That's what I'm looking to achieve. All right. So I'm always honest of where I'm at. But let me bring up a scripture real quick for y'all, real quick. Let me see if I can grab it real quick. Let's see if I can find it. All right. So if you go to the book of John, chapter 3, I want to show you something. Yachanan chapter 3 or John chapter 3. I want to show you something real quick. All right. All right. So I'm going to give y'all a second to get it. I probably could bring it up. Let me bring it up on screen real quick. Hold on. All right, so let me bring it up on screen. The link is still out there, still waiting. All right. All right. All praise is due to Allah. Okay. Black guy. Cool. All right. So if you look at John chapter 3, verse 25, let me scroll it up there for a little bit of context, right? Let's do this. John chapter 3, verse 22. After these things came Yeshua and his disciples into the land of Judea, and there he tarried with them and baptized, right? Let me change let's go here. There he tarried with them and baptized, okay? He remained there and was baptizing, right? John was also baptizing at Aenon near Salim because water was plentiful there and people were coming and being baptized, for John had not yet been put in prison. Now, look at this. Now a discussion arose between some of Yachanan's disciples and a Yahudi over purification. So the baptism ritual that was occurring was in relationship to a purification ritual that is something that was seen or alluded to from the Tanakh, which is interesting. If you read here, it says, and they came to Yachanan and said to him, Rabbi, he who was with you across the Jordan, to whom you bore witness, look, he is baptizing, and all are going to him. John answered, a person cannot receive even one thing unless it is given him from heaven. You yourselves bear witness that I said, I am not the Christ, but I have been sent before him. The one who has the bride is the bridegroom. The friend of the bridegroom who stands and hears him rejoices greatly at the bridegroom's voice. Therefore, this joy of mine is now complete. He must increase, but I must decrease. But the thing that I'm pointing over to you is this right here, that they saw the baptism rites of passage that was occurring as similar to a mikveh, or the purification as listed in the Chumash or Torah. So when you liken baptism to that and you have an understanding of that, things make more sense culturally. The difference is certain things could not have been performed in the temple because these are laymen. But you'll see, looking at the Qumran community, where we get the Dead Sea Scrolls from, they created their own vats for mikvahs and purification washings, etc. And it's believed that it is that community that influenced Yachanan, that influenced Yeshua, and it influenced Yeshua's disciples. It's a purification rite. But for what? For those who inducted into the order of Melchizedek as a form of clearing their conscience, so it will prepare them to do those priestly works. It's interesting. I did a lecture. It's called Capital Punishment, Human Sacrifice for the Atonement of Sin in the Bible. If you have not saw that, my admin, please drop the link in the chat. Click on that, watch the entire video, and at the end, we deal with baptism, and I explain all of this stuff to y'all. All right, so please go check that video out. Again, hit the subscribe button. If you're new, hit the thumbs up button. If you're enjoying the content, and definitely share this video everywhere. All right. Now, Super Black, I don't know what you're talking about, but you are welcomed to jump on the live. All right. Here's the link right here. Shout out to Pastor Johnson in the building. Y'all go and click on his avatar and subscribe to Pastor Johnson's YouTube channel. All right. And check out his videos as well. All right. What's going on here? So Jamali, well, I appreciate that, Jamali. Thank you. I appreciate that, my brother. Kendrick, he backed out. You sure that's not Black Guy? You sure your friend Kendrick Black is not Black Guy? You sure that's not your Islamic friend there going in? It's probably your friend. He probably is in the chat. But yo, admin, my brother Chris, it's okay. Let Super Black go in. All right, there's the link right there. Tell him, Super Black, if you're watching, right? Let me switch back over to me. Super Black, if you're watching, go ahead. There's the link. I guess some people may think that I'm not studied in Islam, but let's go into it. Let's do it. I've had a debate with Ali Muhammad. If y'all have not seen that debate with me and Ali Muhammad, let me give y'all the link. Y'all need to check that out. Ali Muhammad, man, and they tried to set me up with that. They tried to set me up in that debate as well, and it didn't even work out for them. And I've done sessions on Islam. I did a live stream like a couple weeks ago with somebody that was in Islam that was on it. I mean, you'll see how much I know about Islam. And you're going to learn a lot of stuff about Islam if you decide to have a discussion with me. I'm going to let you know that right now. We're going to dispel all the dogma. So I don't know if you want this work, but if you do, there's the link. Just click on it. If you're not going to do that, then you don't need to be in this chat. It's that simple. All right. But anyway, Here's the link to the debate between me and Ali Muhammad. Y'all can click on that and check it out. Rosemarie Bay, thank you for joining in, sis. I appreciate y'all. But sis, if you want to know about hell, I actually discuss it in a lecture. But I told y'all I'm trying to go to hell in the next year or two, but try to make it to hell. And take a couple of selfies, get a couple of pictures, talk to a couple of people there, and bring the details back for y'all to see. All right. So I plan to do that in about another year or two. Hopefully in the next year, but we'll see what happens. All right. Because I'm going through a lot of transitions now. But I'll definitely make sure I visit hell, and I'll get some pictures, some selfies. I'll interview a couple of people that are there, let y'all see the landscape. It's actually a beautiful place, to be honest with you. It gets a bad rep. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, when I get there, I'm definitely gonna document and bring it back from y'all. Okay. So y'all mark my words on that. All right. I'm gonna go to hell and come back. All right. Shout out to my brother Brian for the donation. I appreciate that. That's my brother right there, man. That's my brother right there. Y'all go and check out his work on Facebook. Brian Gaither, look him up on Facebook. That's your friendly neighborhood attorney that's putting in mad work for the community. All right. So yeah, let me go ahead and show you that link real quick. Okay, is a lecture that I did. Here we go. It's a lecture that I did, and in that lecture, I showed y'all a video of hell. Okay, I showed you a video of hell. Somebody was there on the scene. He was reporting and giving you some details on hell. He was just saying, man, this place is getting a bad rep. That's why a lot of people were not there. In the video when he was talking. And I understood. I was like, man, I need to go to hell, man, and check it out for myself and really see like if this is the place that people are really talking about. But yeah, the link is there, sis. Click the link right there and watch that lecture. And I touch on hell in that lecture, right? And I even show you a video of hell in that lecture. All right. But it's right there. It's called Is Your Lot or Lot? Is your lot an asset or a liability? All right. Sam, yeah, I'll see. If I see Michael Jackson there, I'll let you know. Like if I see any celebrities there, I'm gonna take selfies with them. You know what I'm saying? So I'll definitely let you know who's hanging out there in hell. All right. Ace, he did. I didn't see that question. Pastor Johnson, I don't see he asked the question. So Pastor Johnson, I did a lecture on that. Let me send the link here for you. And I don't mean just to keep dumping links onto y'all, but I am also encourage y'all to go back and watch the other content in which I've exhaustively addressed a lot of these questions because we have limited time for me to speak on it. But long story short, I showed in that video, which is supposed to be a preliminary information or stance on it, that it was already fulfilled. Because right now it's October. I was waiting for the captivity to be up. I was waiting for Yeshua to come back. I was waiting for us to be removed from out of America and placed into Israel. I was told by Elder one time that we need to flee to the refuge cities in Jordan. And I asked him, well, what if we don't? He said, well, Yah will bring you there. So I said, it makes no sense for me to pay for a plane ticket to go to Jordan if he's going to take me there for free. You feel me? That's like, I save money on my flight expenses. You know what I'm saying? But this was all supposed to happen this summer. And I haven't seen anything change. I guess I was left behind, when the rapture took place. And I guess I'm going to face some kind of certain impending judgment. I don't know. I have no clue, but I'm open to other perspectives on the subject matter. So Pastor Johnson, I'm gonna go ahead and check out your video to see what you laid down, because you always give a unique insight to things. But I'm gonna give you all the video that I did on that doctrine, the 400-year doctrine. All right. So I'm gonna drop that link in the chat for y'all. So give me a second. And here it is right here. There you go. Click on that link, Pastor Johnson, or anybody else interested in it, and you can check it out. All right. Shout out to my brother Jetson Silencio in the building. Yes, I plan to go and be in Orlando in December. So y'all keep me in prayer about that. Show your support so I can make it there, touch down with the family, and build and break bread. All right. Joshua, how much you gotta pay to get info? What info you asking to pay for? You don't have to pay me for any information. You can simply just email me, right? So let me give you my email address. There's the email address right there. All right, so Joshua McDonald, definitely email me there any concerns. If I can help you out anyway, anybody part of KHM, if we can help you out anyway, we will. You don't have to pay me for any information, okay? If you want to donate to help compensate for the time, energy, and effort that I put into bringing the information, that's fine. But I'm not going to charge you for information. I mean, we don't get down like that. That's not how we get down, okay? So Jerusalem, Shiloh said, can you talk about the hexagram or the so-called 6-point star? So I've touched on this in the past. I'll make it really brief because I guess I can do a session on that in the future. And again, I'm transitioning in regards to work currently, and I'm doing IT security now, contractually IT security. It's a good paying job, really, really good pay. But I'm transitioning from being a solutions engineer. So I'm trying to get settled in that role and catch up on some other things. And then I can get back to doing these sessions where I can address these questions as subject matters, going back to creating PowerPoints and stuff like that, because I fell off in creating PowerPoints. It's been a while since I really put a PowerPoint together, but I don't want to shortchange y'all. Y'all been supporting. Shout out to my Patreon subscribers as well. Thank y'all for your donations and your pledges. Y'all get a lot of exclusive content. And like I said, y'all can inbox me on Patreon if you want any of the free items that we're willing to give away to y'all as a thank you for joining. And shout out to all the new KHM honorary members. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all, we still haven't finished processing everybody. It's almost 100 people that want to be part of KHM. But I said, look, you got to tell me why you want to join KHM, because if you have no interest in intervening in the affairs of your community to bring peace to it, like our forefathers were instructed in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 29, then we don't need you to be part of KHM, right? This is not a church. It's not a congregation. This is a proactive ministry that is taking reconstructive and restorative culture to implement into communities, so that way we can be closer knit, and from there we can branch out and become autonomous. And the purpose of us doing this is that we could be Kodesh, so that way when Yah judges the nations, we are preserved from that judgment, because we will only be relying on ourselves and we will not have an umbilical cord attached to society. So currently, right now, we are aggregationalists. We go into the matrix, we work, we deal with people, etc., and bring those resources and knowledge back to our communities to build up our communities, right? So Rodney, yes, I saw the debate part 1. Jabari lost because anytime, Rodney, you know you're part of KHM, man. Jabari lost because he didn't stay on subject. I didn't see part 2. Well, actually, I saw about 5-6 minutes of part 2. I didn't finish it yet. Hopefully, when I end this live, I can do that. But yeah, Jabari lost, unfortunately. Part 1, he lost. All right. So, okay, let me check for your email. Okay, I got your email. All right, so Anthothea Israel, I got your email. I'm looking at it right now. So you want to have a private discussion? Is that what you're saying? You want to have a private discussion with me? If so, let me know. All right. And I'm gonna talk about the broader courses. So this concept of demons, yeah, it is so misconstrued in our community because of religion that you miss the cultural significance that so-called demons have. and it's deep. I touched on a little bit of this in the past live stream, but I want to do a whole session on demons and the misconceptions behind demons. It will blow your mind. I promise you, it will blow your mind. I've been doing a lot of recent study on that. Yeah, the second part 2 is out, Chris. Part 2 dropped, so you're going to check that out, all right? No problem, Joshua. I got you. Just email me what we can do to help you. We definitely will help you. If you feel compelled to give, we have a Patreon, right? The link is right there on the screen. You can go to our Patreon and you can pledge to continue to help us produce original content for this channel and also for the Patreon channel as well. Or you can do a Cash App, GoFundMe, or PayPal, so we can take those funds and we can transform into something that will help build a community. So if you want to give and you're compelled to give, the options are right there. But if you just simply want information or direction, I'm not going to charge you for that. Just email me and I'll do my best to help you out. All right. Facts, Yaakov, Yisrael. Yes, or super chat. Thank you, Chris. Or the super chat option as well. All right. So do y'all have any other questions before I tap out? Let me know. I know somebody asked me about the hexagram 6-pointed star. I do not subscribe to it. And the reason why is because those of you who are new to this channel are not familiar. We deal with pre-exilic Israelite culture. And pre-exilic Israelite culture and any of the archaeological excavation that was done at Israelite sites from the Iron Age 1, Iron Age 2, A, B, C periods, we don't find a hexagram of any kind, as far as I know. If it was uncovered as an epigraph or something along those lines, then I haven't seen it. But from my survey of all the excavational data in regards to Iron Age Israel sites that I read up all the time, I have not uncovered it. I have not seen that iconography on any edifices that was built, any foundations that was built, any potteries that was used as ostracons. I have not seen it anywhere. Right. So it was something that was introduced at a later period of time. Right. So that's why I don't push, like I don't wear it and I don't push it because of the purpose and intent of this particular ministry is we deal with ancient pre-Israelite culture. That is the cultural components that we are reconstructing and restoring back to our community, so we can infuse them with this information and be closer knit, and then from there branch out of autonomy, because the end state is autonomy. That is what makes you Kodesh or set apart. All right. If you rely too much on the oppressive system, whatever you want to identify or call it, then you will fall victim to whatever judgments are rendered upon it. Okay. Jetson Silencio, maybe. I haven't done a full lesson on that, but I've touched on the role of women in our community and how the perception of that needs to be reevaluated. All right. Anytime by hearing and hearing by. Thank you by hearing and hearing by for joining this channel, for your feedback and input, and for your prayers as well. Appreciate that. All right. All right, let me do that for you. Give me a second. All right. So Twin Hathaway said, basically, I just need you to explain Leviticus 16 for me, because when I asked Cesarek to do it, he failed miserably and then called me spiritually moron and then went on Facebook to belittle me just because I asked a question. What is your question, Twin? I don't even know who you are. I don't even know what do you mean Leviticus 16? What do you want me to explain about it? It's interesting because I touched on that yesterday with that Instagram group that I told y'all about with the youth. You know what I'm saying? I went into that and broke that down in regards to the scapegoat and saying there's no Hebrew equivalent for the word scapegoat. That's not what that word that it was translated from in the Hebrew has nothing to do with a scapegoat. That has to do with a spiritual entity, all right, that you're giving a goat to, all right? Anytime, Joshua, I got you. No casuals allowed. Is water baptism necessary? If you want to be inducted into the order of Melchizedek and fulfill that purpose, then yes, it's necessary. You need to be go through a rite of passage in order for you to perform those duties. So in that sense, yes, it's necessary. Okay. Brian's crazy. I understand, Joshua. Like I said, I got you, Joshua. I got you. So Dwayne said, can you speak on why there are two different genealogies for the Messiah in the Gospels of Matthew and Luke? All right. So Twin, I don't know what you're talking about. You got to give me more details. What about Leviticus 16 that you want me to break down? I'm not sure what you're talking about. But what I can do, and I've been trying to do it, is invite somebody to jump on the live. Here's the link. Click the link and let's have a dialogue. I don't really like one-way conversations. Like, the link is right there. Click the link. You can access it from a computer or a phone, whether you have Apple or Android, doesn't matter. And let's have a dialogue. The link is right there. Any of y'all can click on the link and join in. All right. So you said she wants to know. So Twin is a female. Okay. So she wants to know about the scapegoat. All right. So I've taught on this before. And I even spoke on it yesterday when I was speaking to those brothers about the scapegoat. All right. So if that's what you're saying, is Brian is saying that, but Twin, I need you to, I guess you must have said it earlier for Brian to actually make that statement. I'm trying to look to see where you may have said that. I don't see it. Shout out to Tahira, beloved in the building. What's going on, sis? Thank you for joining in. Let me see. Shout out to my brother Hebrew Muscle and Sam Bone in the building. Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, don't worry about it. But yo, the link is there, man. Anybody can click on the link. If you have a question, you can ask it in the chat. I will address it. But I would love for somebody to click the link. Let's rap. The link is right there. It's in the chat. So let's do with the genealogy thing until Twin comes back on and gives me further details on what they want me to explicate on in regards to Vayikra chapter 16. All right. So the two genealogies. Now, what religion does is religion forces you to accept everything as being perfect when it comes to the Bible. Okay. That's a problem. So if there's anything that seems to be contradictory, religion forces you to harmonize it and to say, if we can't explain it, it's because God's will is perfect and we don't understand it yet. Because I'm not caught up in religion, my perspective is, if you see different accounts for something, just explain why it's there. So the common answer that I would give in regards to Matthew and Luke is that Luke is chronicling the lineage of Miriam, and it goes all the way back to Adam. And when you go to Mattiyahu, it goes from Abraham all the way into Yosef, right? Yosef's seed, Miriam's seed. Miriam's seed is in Luke because Luke is believed to have been a Gentile. This is what was expressed by the church fathers. So therefore, he is connecting everybody back to Adam, because if you go past Abraham, then we all related. And being that according to Greco-Roman beliefs, the mother is how you determine lineage, right? So when we get to Matthew is a little different. It starts at Abraham, doesn't go back to Adam, because it was written to a particular audience who was the seed of Abraham, and it goes to Yosef because they have evolved to adapting the lineage patrilineally. Okay, so that pretty much is how you reconcile those two things. Okay, Now, there are some things that are there in the passages as far as the genealogy that differ, and it's supposed to, right? When you understand the background between these two books. I always, for the most part, put preeminence on the book of Matthew, except for a few areas where Luke is more articulate and exact, historically speaking, okay? So hopefully that begins to answer that question for you. You can look up my lectures on the virgin birth on this channel, where I give more detail in regards to the genealogy situation, right? So Twin says, is the scapegoat in Leviticus 16 a fallen angel? And who are the fallen ones in Genesis 6? I seen a dialogue with you in GCon where you said that the fallen ones was not the sons of Seth. I thought they were. The sons of Seth, the fallen ones, you say fallen ones are not the son of Seth. Now, let's slow down for a second because there's a lot of things we're going to, and I don't run from anything, okay? Anybody that's familiar with this channel knows I don't run from anything. What I'm going to do is take some time out, and I'm going to address some of this for you to point you in the right direction, Twin, because you seem genuine, and this is just my presumption, right? I could be wrong. You seem genuine. But the scapegoat that's in Leviticus chapter 16 is not no scapegoat, because that word scapegoat that's translated there in the English makes no sense within the context of the passage. The word there is Azazel or Azazel. Some people say Azazel, Azazel. So what is Azazel? Well, Azazel is a theophoric name. L suffix gives it away that it's a theophoric name, right? Like Shemuel is a theophoric name, right? When you look up that word Azaz, that word means rugged. It's a noun meaning rugged. So what that means is the rugged one of El. That's what that translates to. So what's happening in there, let's get it. Let's get Leviticus chapter 16. Ain't no problem. We don't run from this. We don't run from this. Let's get it. I'll get it for you right here. Let's get Leviticus chapter 16. Okay, so we have Leviticus chapter 16 right here. All right, so Leviticus chapter 16, and we're going to go up to verse 8. And as you can see, I'm using the ESV, the English Standard Version, and the ESV is a critical edition Bible, which means that whenever there's textual variants, you will see FM, which means footnote, and it'll give you information. So when you hover over it, it says the meaning of Azazel is uncertain, possibly the name of a place or a demon, traditionally a scapegoat. So they're letting you know also in verses 10 and 26, the same word is used there, but they say it's uncertain, which is not true. It is certain. It's just because the critical edition note that you see there, the person who's putting that in there has a particular theological disposition. So they're not going to speak of certainty on this word, because therefore it will be a compromise in their ideological framework that they stand on. But I don't have any of those setbacks, right? So we'll deal with it, right? So we see here it says, "And Aharon shall cast lots over the two goats." It says, one for Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh and the other for the scapegoat. That doesn't make any sense. Think about that. That makes absolutely no sense. So we'll see it again. It says, Aharon and Aharon shall cast lots over the two goats. One lot for Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh and the other for scapegoat? No, the other for Azazel. Azazel. Now, this is extremely important that we understand what's taking place here. But let's look at this here in the Hebrew, and we're going to look at it in the Hebrew as well. So in the Hebrew, it goes, Weg Natan Aharon al Sene Has Seirim Gor Ralot Goral Echad Yahweh We Goral Echad La Azazel. It's right here, La Azazel. So la, this right here, the lamed is a preposition meaning to or towards, to Azazel. The word here, echad, meaning one. We have right here, la Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh, to echad. One for Yod He Wav He, which is a deity, and the other 4, 1, 4, or 2, Azazel, not no scapegoat. Now, it's here where your lexicons will come in handy, right? So let's deal with the lexicons. Let me bring up some lexicons for you. Okay, we'll deal with this, right? There's a lot right now to deal with, but I'll deal with it. It's no problem. Let's deal with it, right? So let's go into the lexicon. I'm gonna pull my lexicons up. I'm gonna bring several lexicons up for y'all. So I have one here. I'm gonna bring my second one up here. All right, on my screen. I'm gonna show y'all it in 1 second. Here's my second one. I have it here. And then I have several others, but what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go to the UBS one that I have is here as well. Let me find my UBS one. Here's my UBS one. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna show y'all 2 different things. I'm trying to see if I can put it side by side on the screen. Give me a second. Let me see if I could do this. I should be able to do this. All right, let me see if I can add something else. Can I add? Is it letting me add both of them? Let me see if I can do this. Oh, there we go. I may have to switch back and forth. Give me a second. Let me set this up. Hold on. All right. I'm trying to see what y'all saying here. All right. So let me go down here. All right. So if y'all can see my screen, hit 1. I think y'all can see. If y'all can see it and hear me, hit 1. All right. We're gonna go through the lexicon. So hit 1 if y'all can hear me. If you can see me, hit 1. Hit 1 if y'all can. Okay, y'all can. Okay, cool. All right. All right, so let me do this. Let me get back here. Let's see if we can do this to make this go faster. All right, so what we're looking at here, let me show it to y'all real quick. You can see. This is the Enhanced Brown Driver Briggs Hebrew and English Lexicon. What we have here right next to it is the Hebrew and Aramaic Lexicon of the Old Testament, okay? So in here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna look for this word Azazel, and we're gonna look for this word, and we're going to find out what this is about, right? So the word is spelled Ayin, Zayin, Aleph, Zayin, Lamed, right? So we gotta look up Ayin. So let's go and look up Ayin in here. And I also, matter of fact, let me bring up the UBS screen as well. Hold on one second. UBS screen. And this is some resources that y'all can get for you. These are resources that y'all can get for yourselves as well. So this right here is a semantic dictionary of biblical Hebrew. You can pull this up on the internet and check it out yourself. And you'll be able to, go through this free online resource here. The other ones that I showed you, you can also get those for free online as well, if you want. And again, these are 3 of the 6 lexicons that I consult. I don't use the Strong's Concordance. I stopped using that some time ago when I started getting into biblical Hebrew. But let me bring it up for y'all. All right. So I'm pulling it up here for y'all on this lexicon. Okay. So I got it right here. And in the halot, let me show you on my screen. Now I'm going to get it for y'all. There it is right there. Now I'm going to get it for y'all. And I find out a way to transition smoothly. Let me know if y'all can hear me, like when I switch screens, if you can hear the audio as well as it's switching. Hit 1 if you can, because I'm trying to multitask. All right, so I have it up here, and this is from the Halot, or the Hebrew Aramaic Lexicon of the Old Testament. And now let us go into the BDB and look for it in the BDB as well. I have to zoom this out a little bit more. It's a lot to scroll through. Or you can also get a lexicon for free on any of these Bible websites, because the Gesenius and BDB are public domain, so you can access those for free. All right, so we're here at Ayin. Let's look for Ayin Zayin. Let's delete. Let's go down further. That's Ayin Mem, Ayin Mem Shin, Ayin Yod. Let me see. Ayin Nun Yod Kaf Lamed. All right, let me go to the halot for now. I can go back and we can look at that in 1 second. Let me zoom in so you can see it. And then I'm going to take it and pull it up in the UBS. Let me see if I could put it in the UBS right now so I can transition to it. Let's do ayin here. Let's see if they even have it in here. Let's look it up. Ayin, hey. Azazel. Let's see. I don't see it in the UBS. All right, let me stick with the halot for now. All right. So on the screen, you'll see it there. It says here, Leviticus 16, 8, 10, 26, a demon of the wilderness. Dilman D, Boucher, Exodus, on Leviticus. And it gives you other sources as well that go into it. Here's one reference here that says the etymology is uncertain. Okay. It says, see also ayin, zayin, aleph, lamed, right? Azah, za'el. And then we have other renderings here, aleph, zayin, in yod, and aleph, lamed. It gives you a reference from Drawer M Dictionary. The aleph, zayin, the ayin, zayin that you see here can be rendered also as God's opponent. That's what they say. In Canaan, Damon, Nengel 28. And it goes on to say it's a rendering here from the Vulgate, caper and misarius, which means black sheep. So that understanding of like a scapegoat or black sheep is telling you is rendered from the Vulgate. Okay. We have the word here, gazelle, which means to remove. And from the, it gives you Septuagint rendering here with the secondary connection with expiation ritual, driver, 1956, explanation in regards to that, et cetera, et cetera. So the most important thing in this lexicon entry is looking at here, a demon of the wilderness. Well, where did this demon of the wilderness come from? If we're looking it up in a lexicon, and it seems to be consistent across lexicons. All right, I was trying to let me see if I can still get it here in UBS. Let me see if I can grab it here in UBS. I don't think they have it in UBS. That might be the problem. Let's see. Or they might even have it with aleph instead of the ayin. Hold on. I got a million things on my screen right now. Let me see if they even have it here. I don't see it here. I wish I would have known this in advance. I would have been prepared. I live Zion. Nope, that's not it. No, they don't have it under ayin. Maybe they might have it under aleph. Let's see. Like we see here on the screen. Let's see if they have it under aleph. Let's see. Nah, they don't have it in here. Okay. Well, this might not be the exhaustive lexicon for the Semantic Dictionary of Biblical Hebrew, but let me get back to y'all real quick. Hold on. So many tabs going on here. All right. So let me get back. All right. So let me get back. Wrong screen. There we go. All right, I'm still mastering this thing, so y'all bear with me, okay? Still working on mastering this thing, so y'all bear with me, okay? So on my screen, you should still see the lexicon. So let's deal with the Azazel. Okay. So in regards to Rodney, yes, I do know about that. I actually spoke about that on a live as well. But yeah, let's hold that for a second, like Chris said. All right, so when it comes to Azazel, maybe I could just go back here because y'all already seen it. We have an expiation ritual that's taking place in Vayikra chapter 16. And what we need to understand is that the text says Azazel, which is a proper noun. Okay, it's not a common noun, it's a proper noun. It's a theophoric name of some entity. All right. So the question is, who is this entity that we're giving a scapegoat to? All right. So when it comes to the book of Enoch, right, you have three versions that's lingering out there. You have the Dead Sea Scroll fragments, you have the Slavonic version, and you have the Ethiopic version. Okay. And it's believed now that they all come from different streams, right? From the same source, but different text types, families, for lack of better words. And in the preservation that we see there of the Slavonic and of the Ethiopic version, we have what's called the Book of Enoch. In the Book of Enoch narrative, Azazel is believed to be one of the chief watchers that was responsible for getting the other watchers to make a pact with him to go in unto the women that they were responsible for watching over. Okay. When he went and committed this act, they showed certain arts to these women that they were not commissioned to reveal. And because of such, the offspring from this meeting between the woman and the man gave birth to what we call the Nephilim, or the men of renown, right? That the text gives that idiom, men of renown. And these entities were very voracious and consumed everything, caused chaos and destruction. And the individuals that they killed, their blood cried up unto Shamayim, where there was a response from the angels or the messengers that had rank up there that was pleading before El Elyon to respond to this. And as a result, Enoch was sourced to bring judgment against these entities. But one of the things that was interesting in the book of Enoch, right? Because like I said, the book of Enoch has some good social memory that was logged down as a tradition that was subscribed to by these people. All of the book of Enoch is not consistently authentic from my research, but there are elements of it, components of it that is spot on. And this is one of them. So in order to really give an example of why this particular custom of expiation is performed, you have to know the narrative of Enoch. Without the narrative of Enoch, it'll be extremely difficult to try and figure out what this is. In a narrative of Enoch, there's something that is said by the patron deity about Azazel. He says, ascribe all sin to Azazel. Ascribe all sin to him. That is the origin of this expiation rite or ritual that you're seeing performed in Vayikra chapter 16. It is believed, according to the custom. Matter of fact, let's read it. Let's go back and read it. Let me bring it back up on the screen. You can read it. I think I'm getting the hang of this thing now. I just have to have a separate tab for it. Share and switch. Switch. All right. There we go. Got it set up. All right. So with that being said, when we read Leviticus chapter 16, we have to understand this from a pre-exilic Israelite cultural perspective. Okay. Not from Second Temple Judaism, not from Christianity, from the pre-exilic Israelite cultural vantage point. And when you study things from this vantage point, it is easier to make sense out of what's going on without the inherent dogma that builds a wall and prevents you from really diving into what the text is trying to express. Okay. When we read the text, it's very clear. It says, this is for what? Yom Kippur, or the Day of Atonement. Okay. Now let's go down. And he shall take from the congregation of the people of Israel 2 male goats for a sin offering and 1 ram for a burnt offering. Aharon shall offer the bull as a sin offering for himself and make an atonement for himself in his house. So the bull, your ram, was used to atone for Aaron or Aharon and his household. But you still have the 2 male goats left. Then he should take the 2 goats and set them before the Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh at the entrance of the tent of meeting. And Aharon shall cast lots over the 2 goats, one for Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh and the other for Azazel. And Aharon shall present the goat on which the lot fell for Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh and use it as a sin offering. But the goat on which the lot fell for Azazel shall be presented alive before Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh to make atonement over it, that it may be sent away into the wilderness to Azazel. And it goes on, if we keep going down, it says, and when he has made end of the atoning of the holy place and the tent of meeting of the altar, he shall present the live goat. And Aharon shall lay both of his hands on the head of the live goat and confess over it. This is a way in which you transfer sin or iniquity from one individual to another, or a way that you can induct somebody into an office, right? But in this case, it's transferring the sins onto the goat. On the head of the live goat, confess over all the iniquities of the people of Israel and their transgression, their sins, and he shall put them on the head of the goat and send it away into the wilderness by the hand of a man who was in readiness. The goat shall bear all their iniquities on itself to a remote area, and he shall let the goat go free into the wilderness. Now, why is this going on? Well, when you read the book of Enoch, you'll see that when Azazel is judged, he is placed into some kind of hole that has darkness. He is chained, and then rocks are placed over this hole that he is casted into. And that was performed in a wilderness setting. So when this goat, when the hands are placed and all the sins are transferred on him, he is led into the wilderness, where it is believed that he is brought to the same place to where Azazel is being held captive. And the purpose of that is to return the sins back to Azazel that he caused humanity to fall into in the first place. That is the understanding behind that. So when people talk about the sons of Seth, that is a later rendition by Second Temple Judaism to explain something that they did not sit well with them and pre-exilic Israelite culture. So I'm hoping that y'all are grasping this. I'm hoping that y'all are getting this, and I'm hoping that y'all are understanding this. Okay. So hopefully that begins to answer your questions, right? So in regards to so an argument in regards to Eldad the Danite having their own Talmud. So you have to know what the Talmud is. So the Talmud has to do with the Mishnah and the Gemara, and the Mishnah are the rulings that help to codify the oral traditions that were then laid down after the dispersal of the Israelites from the land, or will be right before they was dispersed. They started laying down 200 CE. And the Gemara is the commentary on those rulings. And then you have additional writings as well from other rabbis, sages, etc. Right? So Eldad was believed to have a version of a Talmud, but it was not the same version that we have today. Okay, and pretty much what that was, that it contained the halakha of whatever tradition that he was following at that time. All right. Now there are references to Eldad, Hadad, from these sages, these so-called Jewish sages, and we can deal with that another time. But I think I'm about to end this live now, simply because nobody decided to jump on the live, And I gave the link out. Nobody wanted to jump on a live. And it's already approaching 2 hours and 30 minutes. I don't want to scare anybody new who is receiving this link and wants to go back in and watch the content to not watch it because it's too long. I thank y'all for having the attention span to be, having an attention span to be able to sustain your attention to absorb this information. Because sometimes it can be a lot, but I appreciate that. Shout out to Joe B. Fresh in the building. What are your thoughts on the Ethiopian Bible? I think the Ethiopian Bible represents Eastern Christianity. And my suggestion to anybody who is following Christianity, drop Western Christianity and please pick up and follow Eastern Christianity if you're going to do so. All right. And you can start with using the Ethiopian Bible. Okay. So peace. You there? Somebody just joined in. Somebody just joined on. I'm trying to get them on the scene. The person that joined, are you there? Who's it? I am God's son. Can you hear me? Are you there? No, I can't hear you. I cannot hear you. My speakers is all the way up. I cannot hear you, my brother. I can't see you either. Turn your webcam on. Do you have a webcam? Turn your webcam on. I appreciate that, Eliakim, Ben Yisrael. Appreciate that. Anytime, Ace. So you can hear me. Okay. Do you have a camera? I am God's son. If you have a camera, put your camera on. It might work better that way. Are you on your PC? Are you on your laptop? Okay, there we go. I can hear you now. Say something. Hello? I hear a lot of static on your end. I am God's son. I hear something now, but I hear a lot of static. Hey, I am God's son. Fix your mic. I am God's son. Can you hear me? Hello? I guess he dropped. Okay. All right. Well, if you want to join back in, here's the link. You can click on the link and join in. Now, I could hear you at the end, I am God's son. I heard some noise from your end at the end, but unfortunately, I can't see nothing. So, I'm gonna give you another chance. Click on the link again, and let's try this one more time. You or anybody else before I sign off. I don't want this to be too lengthy. It's already 2 hours and 2.5 hours already, which I don't mind, but I know for other people that want to get into it, they may not have the same attention span to go through all of it. But so I can't hear you. I am God's son. Can you click on the link again? Let's try it one more time, real quick, before I sign off. I'm gonna give you a few minutes. All right, click the link. Let's try it again. If you're on your phone and you tried, didn't work, try it on your computer. Just try it again. Let's see what happened. Or anybody here, click on the link and join in. If not, then I'm signing off in like 2-3 minutes. The sons of Seth that you're talking about, that is a later. I am Godson. Can you hear me? Say something. Let me see what's going on. Hold on. You said you're speaking? Okay, hold on. You said that you're speaking. I cannot hear you. Let me turn your mic down. I don't know why it sounds like that. All right. Those of you who are watching, can you hear something? Can you hear him? Is it me? Just keep talking. I am Godson. I can't hear you. What do y'all hear, family? Let me know what y'all are hearing, because I can't hear the brother. Hello? Can y'all hear him? Because I cannot hear him. I only hear static too. Twin, email me. Yeah, so I can't hear you. Okay, so I am Godson. Hang up. There you go. Hang up. Hang up. And try it on your laptop. All right, try it on your laptop. But yeah, that's twin. Email me. All right, email me and we can wrap. All right, so I'm gonna wait for Godson one more time, and then I'm signing off. I'm not staying on a lot longer. I need to go. But here's a link right here for anybody that wants to join in. Before I sign off, anybody can join in if you want. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button to like the content. All right, and let's get it to the top of the search engine on YouTube. All right, and share this video everywhere. Okay, share it everywhere. All right. All praise to Allah. Okay, Super Black. There's the link for you. Click on the link, Super Black. Okay, click the link. Link is right there for you. Oh, Mastema and Azazel. Interesting, making that link. We could definitely look into that. Super Black, are you going to click on the link? If you're not going to click on the link, man, let me know. That's fine. You're saying we're Islam, all praise to Allah. Cool. Do you want to have a dialogue? If you want to have a dialogue, let me know. All right. If you want to say I'm Islam because I'm Muslim because I submit to the will of Allah, okay. You're my brother as well. But do you want to have a dialogue? If so, let me know. Click the link. Now, what I want to do to my family out there, I'm gonna show you a really good resource if you want to get into the Quran, and you may have some shortcomings in regards to language. I'm gonna give you a good resource. All right. Let me get it for you. I'm bringing it up on the screen. I'm gonna show it to y'all. In Muslim heaven, we shall dialogue. Okay. Okay. But anyway, let me show this to y'all who are watching. All right. So those of you who are interested in really getting into the Quran, you want to know about it, how to get into the grammar of the Quran, looking at an interlinear, and you want to look at the ontology of concepts, documentation, get into the syntactic tree bank, English translation, etc. This is going to be the best website for you right here. It's called corpus.quran.com. Right? corpus.quran.com. I'm gonna share in the chat for y'all. All right. So the reason why I use this site a lot is because when I'm dealing with my brothers who are in Islam that speak Arabic, a lot of times they are not fully versed in the grammar of the language, right? So they know the language, but they're not really immersed in the grammar of the language. It's the same thing with speaking to people who know the Hebrew, but they're not familiar with the mechanics of the grammar of Hebrew. So what I try to use is resources so they can see that it's not my opinion, not my interpretation, but I try to show them how mechanically, how the structure of the grammar of the language works and operates from an objective source, so we can reason better. You know what I'm saying? Anytime, Tahira, beloved, you know I got y'all. So Super Black, do you want to join the discussion? If not, say no. I'm not waiting till we get into Muslim heaven or Islam heaven, whatever you said. That's going to take too long. So I'd rather, if you want to join now, you can. If not, then I appreciate your presence and your positive words. And I'm just going to move on with my session. All right. We shall drink honey together with maidens. Interesting. Allah will give us many gifts of gold. Okay, that's interesting. All right, so thank you for that, Super Black. But like I said, if you want to join, click right there and we can have a discussion. If not, then it's all good. All right, family. So I'm gonna start wrapping up because it's kind of lengthy. So I appreciate everybody for joining in. Thank you. Oh, my sister Taki Cochran is in the building. Thank you for joining, sis. I appreciate you. But first, convert you and your people. What? Convert to Islam? That's not gonna happen. But I appreciate the offer nonetheless. All right. Wait, Jamali, don't give away the jewels, man. Come on, Jamali. I wanted him to join the chat so I could bring this stuff out. Let's bring it up. Surah 29, Ayat 46. Let's bring it up. Okay, let's bring it up. We bring it up for you. We bring it up for you. I wanted to go in, but it's all good. All right. Ready? And do not argue with the people of the book, except by which it is best, except those who do wrong among them and say, we believe in that which has been revealed to us and was revealed to you. And our God and your God is one, and we to him submit. And thus we have revealed to you the book. So those we have to them the book believe therein. And among these are some who believe therein, and none reject our verses except the disbelievers. So in regards to do not argue with the people of the book is a context in which not to argue with them. But what I want the brother Super Black to do is join in on the discussion so we can talk about this. We can have a nice little discussion about this. If he does not want to do that, that's fine, right? But it's okay. We shall dine on the heathen's cattle. Okay, cool. All right, so I'll save that. We can get into that another time. I want to thank everybody for coming on to the chat and for participating in the chat. Y'all help me grow, just like I hope I'm helping y'all to grow as well. Hope you found this live to be edifying. If so, please hit the thumbs up, hit subscribe if you're not a subscriber yet, and do share this video so we can enlighten those who were not able to make it. Thank you guys for all your prayers, your support, your donations. I definitely appreciate that. I'm going to try to do another live tomorrow evening if things are not too busy for me and have a guest on the show. So y'all stay tuned for tomorrow's possible live. If not, I will be live again next Friday as usual. All right. So thank you all for your time. I appreciate y'all for your love and your support. I look forward to speaking and chatting with y'all again soon. Y'all get some sleep. Shabbat shalom. And I'll holler at you again at another time, family. Love y'all. Thank you. Peace and